It's the flip card that has seen the most play in constructed, like as a whole. We saw it today in the top 8 of the standard. I mean, in the finals of the Standard Open.
I guess yes, it is. It is definitely number one. Brian Cowell would not be surprised. Probably the best card evaluator from like get-go days, that evaluating raw cards. He said that Delver of Secrets was far and away the best flip card.
Interesting.
So,
I mean, what are the other candidates? There's Mayor of Averbrook, Daybreak Ranger, Reckless Waif. People are suggesting Daybreak Ranger.
I was also suggesting.
Garruk is probably. I mean, that's a pretty good one.
Yeah, it's really good.
Garruk the Relentless has won more money so far than Delver, right?
Fair enough.
From winning the GP?
Yeah. Oh, well, it was also in the early Wolf Run decks.
That's true.
And it's still in a lot of them.
Yeah. Maybe it's either Garruk Relentless or Delver are the top 2 flip cards.
I'm sure Garruk has actually seen more play, to be honest, but...
There's been a lot of Garruk. There's been a lot more Wolf Run decks than Counterburn decks.
People who play Counterburn are generally people who have fond memories of revealing Draco with Erratic Explosion.
Dude, every time I keep building these Counterburn decks, it keeps making me think back of the days of Paul McCabe. Paul McCabe, the first player of the year, he top 8'd at Worlds, I think, one year with a blue-red deck using... And listen, you're going to love this mana curve. Manowar, Ophidian, Sukata Lancer, and then 4 Disrupts, 4 Force of Wills, 4, like that's... Dude, this is a spicy brew, and then he's got like 4 Lightning Bolts, 4 Incinerates.
Ooh, that deck seems sweet.
Absolutely.
Manowar used to be so good.
So nice too when your deck is nothing but 3 drops.
It's just not as good when every creature does something insane when it comes into play.
Yeah, it's a different world. It's a different world now where every creature is a freaking Bloodbraid Elf, or a Stoneforge Mystic, or a Snapcaster Mage. Used to be, they're like Singer Vampire, and you're like, haha, Manowar.
Yeah.
All right, so Christopher's gonna be on the play this time. What's he looking for? I mean, he's looking for cards that cost 1 and a green, right?
I think so. Turn 1 Delver is also really important. I think Sylvan Library is really good.
Yep. 1 and a green. Absolutely.
Loam is really good. Also 1 and a green. Or maybe Loam's not good. Probably not.
I don't
you think
know.
Side that out?
I don't know. It's not a great tempo play, but it does let you keep hitting your land drops.
It also lets you like wasteland lock people. You're only playing 1 of it.
Yeah, I mean, and then maybe that's part of the reason why you board in Surgical Extraction in the mirror, according to Job. Christopher, sadly, on the mold of 6. Now this is a deck that mulligans just fine though.
Yeah, the deck mulligans really well.
Like I mean, often you just need one guy, and you just need to stay ahead of him. Doesn't have a ton of card advantage or anything, but a single being down a single card is not necessarily catastrophic. You don't always use all your cards anyway, and if your opponent's mana screwed or something, if you can mana screw him successfully, then it doesn't even matter. Christopher,
All right.
not loving his 6.
No, going to 5.
5. You tell immediately. So this one, sadly, may be a slightly anticlimactic final game.
Jonathan.
Pretty sweet.
Trying
Vladimir.
to... that's something you really... It's important now that Jonathan keep his composure.
Absolutely.
And not fall apart. Because right now, he probably feels like he won right now.
Absolutely. And you can't be celebrating. You can't be celebrating because he's got to
just sit down. You're playing any other match of Magic. Does not matter if you win or lose this match.
Besides, Christopher could very easily just go turn 1 Delver, turn 2 Goyf, daze your play, and just start,
Yeah.
Christopher got a keepable hand.
Yeah. And he's
Is it
going to
Tron
win things
Ponder?
off with a Ponder.
Tropical Island Ponder for Christopher. Certainly better than nothing. He's got to find some action. Probably Tarmogoyf for Sylvan is the best thing he could be doing at this point. 'Cause being down 2 cards makes a significant disadvantage, but not an insurmountable one.
All right. So let's see if Jonathan has a turn 1 Delver here. That'd be pretty strong.
He certainly appears to have multiple land and multiple spells, so no easy ones for Christopher. Looks like he's debating to fetch or to play a duel.
Alright.
Christopher has both colors. Has the Delver, and presumably the top card of his deck is a spell.
Yeah.
Brainstorm a response.
Alright. Brainstorm.
And with 1 mana, I mean, he has so many good reactive spells that he's threatening right now.
Mm-hmm.
Stifle, Spell Snare, even Lightning Bolt, but like Pyroblast for Elemental Blast.
There's a lot going on in this deck, and it does everything for like 1
So
mana.
little mana. Dude, I just want to counterbalance the heck out of these people. Can we not play counterbalance Punishing Fire at the same deck?
That's
Yeah.
what AJ did today.
Oh, okay. Well, then, dude,
That's what
AJ
Jerry
suck.
did
Dude,
last week.
Geniuses, both of them. Geniuses, both of them. Counterbalance Punishing Fire seems like exactly where I want to be.
Alright.
Reveal Spell Snare. Power up. Spell Snare doesn't counter all that many spells, but it counters the best ones.
It's true. Spell Snare is something that has kind of become an accepted form of in this format. Yeah, I believe these two decks are playing 2 copies of Spell Snare.
No. No, they each have 3.
3, okay.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with playing 3 because you have so many sweet spells. I mean, there are some people who just don't have 2s.
Yeah, and they have like Pierce and things like that also.
Yeah, I mean, you have to make room for Stifles and Pierces.
I mean, there aren't really people who don't have 2s either. They don't
There
exist
are.
anymore.
That's not even true. Dude. Dredge. Thanks for playing, bro. Alright, so we have Delver facing down Delver. Although it definitely sucks to be the second Delver to the party. Can't block that first time. And then the second time, you might just eat a Bolt.
Yeah, and I mean, Christopher just drew a Submerge. So even with 5 cards, being on the play is just pretty huge here.
I mean, you're just a mana ahead every single turn. It's like you have Mock Sapphire just all the time.
Yeah.
Now, he did mulligan to 5, though. So if he actually wins on the mull to 5, I mean, his draw hasn't even been good. He's just a turn ahead.
Then it kind of proves this matchup is super die roll dependent.
I don't know. I guess I gotta just still give it to Jonathan. Just 2 extra cards is Ancestral Recall.
Yeah, that's a lot of cards.
Reveals Ziponda, and now the Insectoid Human, or Insectoid Abomination. Now, do you think he tries to block here? And just figuring, oh, if I just trade a little bit, he's got Sylvan Library in hand. If I just play defense, you know, I'll win the long game. I'm already up a couple cards. Probably gonna stick a Sylvan.
I mean, considering how much spot removal the decks play, I don't think you can really.
I would stay home. I would block. You've got Sylvan. Like if he's got the spot removal, he'll use it on your guy anyway. The
That's
3
fair.
extra damage doesn't matter. He's not like in any kind of beatdown situation, and the prospect of potentially preventing any amount of damage for extra cards for Sylvan is just so appealing. Plus, if you keep him home, you force Christopher to actually use the removal spell on that turn. You know?
Yeah. And it looks like Jonathan just found a Lightning Bolt, so he will have no problem dealing with that insect eventually.
So up 2 cards, Sylvan Library sticks. Even though Christopher is about to submerge the insect. I guess he can't. He doesn't have the tropical at this point.
Yeah, Jonathan wisely chose to return his tropical island back to his hand when he dazed, and that's part of the casting cost of daze, so that cannot be responded to. And
And you know what? I bet Christopher actually is just thinking to himself, he's like, why didn't I just do it before? Oh no. Jonathan playing very, 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 very well.
yeah, I mean, very wise. I mean, he understands how Submerge works. He knows what cards Christopher has.
So what's Christopher looking for here? I mean, he tapped his mountain instead of tropical, so it makes me think he's looking for Tarmogoyf or something,
Yeah, or a library of his own.
Yeah, like you'd think he'd want Bolt just to bolt the Insectoid. But maybe not. Because he wants to be putting pressure. Like, it seems like he can't just hang out.
Yeah, you can't just sit there.
I mean, you certainly can't crash the insectoid into each other. All right. Christopher draws for the turn. Drops a volcanic island. Wait, they actually just bash into each other?
Wow, that seems
Okay,
really
so I
good for
guess
John.
Yeah, I guess. Wait, and he doesn't have.
He doesn't have a
tower
Goyf? I can't imagine bashing if you don't have Goyf there. I assume that's what that meant.
All right. Well, now it would appear that we have just gotten to an even board with 2 volcanics and a tropical versus 2 volcanics and a Sylvan.
And John's up 3 cards right now.
Yeah, I think if John had double mulliganed from this position instead of Christopher, he would still be favored, just because of the Sylvan library and the fact that he's neutralized the board. But
yeah, when you have a library in this mirror.
I mean, the library, I think, from this position is better than a double mulligan. Like, it's better than Ancestral Recall. Well, no. I guess Ancestral Recall, you would Snapcaster.
Yes.
So, Jonathan, fetching. Or no, not fetching.
Well, his fetch line got stifled.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Christopher
by,
says, no, sir.
Atashian. But he still has a ponder here, and that's going to let him fix his hand up really nice.
It's really kind of nice the way Ponder interacts with Sylvan, too. I mean, you've got all these fetch lands that shuffle your deck, but, and we talk about how good Ponder is with shuffles, Ponder is a shuffle for your Sylvan.
Yeah.
To get a fresh look, because sometimes you look at your top 3, you take the spell, you look at the top 3, you take your spell, and now you just land on top, and you're like, Ponder, shuffle it away.
Yeah, with fetch lands and ponders, like, your Sylvan library is really strong.
Sylvan Library card in general. I mean, Sylvan Library is a card that has been good for the last 16, 17 years. And it never gets, it doesn't usually see a super ton of play, but it's just been good for 17 years straight. Christopher, brainstorming. Speaking of cards that have been good for 17 years straight.
Hey, we've almost reached the 17-year mark on Brainstorm being out.
Yeah, it came out. Yeah, it was printed in 90. It was 94.
94?
Ice Age was in
October.
No,
94,
95. No, it was 95. Yeah,
It wasn't
Fallen Empires was
early.
94.
Okay.
Ice Age was all 95, I think. So,
Yeah. Surgical
Jonathan,
extraction.
surgical extracting Delvers this time.
Delver secrets.
Interesting. So the plan is to just go after their threats. I guess surgical extraction also interacts extremely well against Snapcaster Mage.
Yes. I'm sure that's why he brought it in.
Wanna
And
see?
in the Termaglyph.
This is going to be really interesting. Let's see. Oh, I think Christopher has surgical extraction for game 3, but did not have it for game 3.
Yeah. Well, he hasn't played the mirror much.
No, I mean, this up until recently wasn't a popular deck, but it's completely dominated the last 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that when I was looking around when I was talking to people, I did not hear about this being a well-represented deck today. And 2 75 card Exaxes are playing against each other in the finals. This deck is real.
Mm-hmm. And real nice. Jonathan refusing to give Christopher the satisfaction of having a tropical island. Yeah. Christopher, 2 Volks, a tropical, 2 Snapcasters in hand. At least he's going to make progress here. Because each Snapcaster, I mean, that is a nice 2-for-1.
Well, I don't think it's 2 Snapcaster thing. I think it's a Snapcaster and a Submerge.
That's right. Well, in that case, we have a nice 2-for-1. But he's probably concerned that at this point, Jonathan just has the answer to this.
Yeah, the Spell Snare or the
Pyroblast. And you can even stifle Spell Snapcaster Mage's
Mage.
ability, his spell.
Snapcaster. So, yeah, we've been here a while.
Alleviating the alliterations would eventually.
The Champion Challenge took it all out of us. Chumbawamba.
So, Jonathan finally. No, he still doesn't have the tropical. He's looking for a creature at this point, right? Like, he's been building up his hand, but did he just keep? He did pay 4 life, right?
Yes, he did.
So at this point, he's just looking to continue to get the best possible mix of reactive spells, because he's got enough stuff to. Doesn't he have Pyroblast and he just didn't use it? Or is it Lightning Bolt?
It's Lightning Bolt.
Yeah, okay.
Which is completely fine. Because here now his opponent just snapcastered and used it to stifle his land, and he has plenty of lands in his hand.
Dude, Sylvan Library is such a more fair card than Necrobones. Now,
Yes.
I'm not saying that should be the gold standard of what's fair, but Sylvan Library, it's really interesting. It's kind of the Necro experience, but halfway reasonably sane. All right, so Jonathan bolts the Snapcaster Mage, and still has like 4 or 5 cards in hand. Yeah, it looks like 4 cards. Sylvan Library, 2 Volcanic Islands. I mean, it's 2 Volcanic Islands, a Tropical Island, 2 cards, 1 of which is Submerge. Are we sure that's in 3 cards? 2 of which are Snapcaster, or 1 of which is Snapcaster Mage?
And, you know, he can play that Tropical Island and not really care about Submerge if the creature he's going to play and start beating with is Snapcaster Mage. Because the last thing you want to do is Submerge a Snapcaster Mage.
Oh no, I don't think it's so bad if you Snapcaster, or Submerge your own Snapcaster.
Exactly.
So, Christopher, 2 cards in hand, 1 of which is the Submerge that we talked about. Bolt to your face, just taste it.
That's his play. I mean, maybe he thinks that's his
bolted
line.
again. It was a Snapcaster Mage. That's
Yeah.
it. So, 2 quick bolts put Jonathan down to 2 life, facing down a Snapcaster Mage with lethal. This would be an incredible turn of events if Christopher pulls this off with that wild play. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was
He's
really
literally
cool.
He is just.
And I think that may answer our question of whether or not Snapcaster Mage and Brainstorm make the red deck better.
Yeah, no kidding. Wow. So. Yeah, Jonathan going the safe route and goes ahead and Snapcasters a bolt. Christopher knows he's got a lot of live cards right now. I mean, he's got Snapcaster Mage in his. He's got Lightning Bolt in his graveyard, right? Like another Lightning Bolt in his graveyard. So any Snapcaster Mage or Lightning Bolt kills.
Yes.
And obviously you could do a lot worse than playing a Tarmogoyf or a Delver of Secrets, or Jonathan still has a big advantage. He's got Sylvan Library, Snapcaster Mage, several cards in hand, enough mana to play whatever he needs. Christopher, a little flooded, no cards, no permanents besides land, not really anything going on. The only advantage is that he's up 19-2 in life.
And when people have burn spells in their deck, that matters.
Absolutely, and flyers and creatures, flash creatures, all sorts of stuff. This is actually this shaped up to be a really exciting game. I mean, despite he has no
Something
cards
wrong
because
with
he mulled the 5. He's got no cards in hand, nothing to work with, but he's a man with a plan. He realized, I can do this. Double bolt. At least I've got something going for me. Well, he's definitely gonna start falling behind really quickly now that there's a Tarmogoyf and a Snapcaster. Drops a Sylvan of his own.
Nice.
It's a nice play. He's not gonna really afford. He can't afford to draw any extra cards for the most part, but he's definitely gonna be. It's the equivalent of looking 2 deeper for a card that's actually lethal.
Yeah, for a burn spell.
Jonathan dropping to 1 life. Score 17-1. This has been such an insane, considering he double mulliganed and has looked so far behind this game.
Yeah,
This is very exciting. This whole tournament, so many
did a lot
exciting
of work.
matches. So,
Well, Dismember's not very good here.
no, but I mean, is that? I was gonna say, did he keep Bolt? I think so. Is it the
Yes.
Red Blast or Bolt? Pyroblast
I think
or
it was Bolt.
Okay. Activate Sylvan Library.
Alright.
Deciding,
See
tanking.
what he does there.
Keep.
Alright, and in they come.
So
So
6.
for 6. Christopher's going to drop down to 11.
Christopher has got 2 turns to produce something. This is gonna be amazing. This is intense.
Is there a burn spell in there or Snapcaster?
No burn spell. I don't know if there might be a Snapcaster. There's a blue card. Oh no, he's checking the graveyard. Is there a bolt in the yard? Is there really? I thought there was. Don't know for sure.
And you gotta go for it.
So close.
guess you go for it during your opponent's upkeep. It's just straight up better.
I mean, can't even be positive there's a bolt in the graveyard. There's no way you can't go for it if you actually have the bolt. Maybe if there's a counterspell on top too, and you're like, I could take one more hit, keep the counterspell, or if I just pay 4 life, keep the counterspell to protect it. Dude, it's so intense.
You can pay 4 life and keep counterspell to protect it. That would be the if there's a counterspell. I am the
Yeah, like if there's a pyroblast or something. What to do? What to do? I mean, it's pretty clear there's a Snapcaster in there, but
yeah. I mean, this is game 3. We're down to the last 2 sets of turns
this is it.
in the match.
I guess we spoke too soon with that whole talk of an anticlimactic finals. This is
certainly climactic.
yeah, no kidding.
Jonathan,
There are not likely to be more than 2 turns on either side before this game is over, but decides to keep Brainstorm. Brainstorm looks 1 card deeper.
yeah. And let's see, is he able to find what he needs?
Now, this isn't the final turn for Christopher. Well, that's a Snapcaster. Now let's find out. Let's see what Christopher has. We're about to find out. There is no bolt.
There's no lightning bolt. Okay. So,
This means he's just digging. He's gonna ponder and look
yeah,
for lightning
look
bolt.
for a lightning bolt. And not
The
only
new
does
card.
he gets to shuffle, he gets the top card of his deck, and the next turn he gets to look at the top 3.
He's giving
So
himself chances.
He's given himself a lot of chances. The next turn, Jonathan himself gets to search for a bolt for Winsies, right?
Well, he's got a bolt in his hand.
Oh, no, he's, it's 2 more attacks, I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's got a bolt in his
Okay.
hand, but if they just, like if he bolts the Snapcaster Mage, well, I guess he has to bolt the Snapcaster Mage
Yeah,
because
so
he
the
can
Goyf
attack
can
back.
get in there, yeah.
And then he attacks, and he gets in for 6. Although it's weird, but maybe you just attack with both, hope he blocks the Snapcaster Mage, and then you bolt his face, so that's one less card. No, he goes to the safe route. Time to see what he gets from Sylvan. He's got Christopher on a 2-turn clock, but if he deals exactly 6 to Christopher, that'll put Christopher at 5. Maybe he could actually afford to pay 4 life and keep an extra card.
Yeah.
If he keeps like Lightning Bolt and Spell Snare or something, or Lightning Bolt and Pyroblast. This is intense. I wonder if Christopher has any hope of actually stabilizing.
Of like full on like stabilizing,
Yeah.
winning not by just ripping a burn spell.
Well, no, getting a Burn Spell eventually, but I mean like plays a Tarmogoyf, and like pays 4 life, keeps Tarmogoyf and Bolt. No, not Bolt. Submerge. This is their creature. I guess he's pressing the issue. It's now or
This
never.
is it.
He's got a slow roll of Saul, self included.
Is it there? Is it there?
Well, it's definitely not Bolt. There's no man in
Yep.
the world who could tank Bolt in this position. But
No man.
it's not necessarily over because he could have Ponder or Preordain. I mean, Ponder or Brainstorm or Snapcaster Mage. There are a lot of live plays here. He's also got to decide, does he pay 4 life or not? Because I think if you have...
That's Tarmogoyf.
Alright, so he can live... He's going to... Like, I guess, yeah,
If
he
he
flips
flips the
like,
Delver.
He does flip the Delver, sadly.
Yeah, because he has not.
He has 1 card in hand. Dismember coming in handy.
Yeah, there's that Dismember that.
So now we're going to find out real soon. Does Christopher have a Pyroblast, a Red Blast, or a Submerge to buy himself another turn? Drum roll, please.
Leave us another Tarmogoyf. Jonathan attacks with everybody, and
He's got it.
that's it.
Christopher extends the hand.
Job.
Jonathan Job is your
Champion.
champion of
And it starts the
SCG
game's
Vegas.
Legacy Open.
That was amazing.
Wow, that was.